Now, I'm cutting some of the foam board to put in the side wings under the dinette seat, so that's what I'm working on. Okay, now you can see the side wings on here. No insulation, that's a single layer of plywood. And what I'm going to do, I'll cut these to fit in here, and on this upright area, all the way down, and on both sides of this camper where it's not insulated, I'm going to do that. So that's what I'm working on. Here's something else I wanted to show you all. As I'm putting this in, you see where I've cut this out, I've cut it out to where the wires go. I don't want to pull all these wires up. So when I put this over here, just like this, you know, it'll go right in here where these wires are at, and it'll fit flush right in here. There, see? It's flat. And I'm going to get some glue, put on this, and take my seating surface and glue it right down. I've got to put the upright in now, but that's how these are going to work. So that's how it's going to be with your insulation, your side wings. And then your uprights are going to be the same way on both sides. So I'm going to get on with the uprights. I had to take the front off of this panel here in order to be able to get to the pipes that are running down through here, and I don't want to bust them. So, and I can fix this and replace it. I might even make the dinette couch come out a little further so it can be like a real couch, like a residential couch, because this is not quite as deep as a residential couch would be, and so I could still have it like a dinette but have it a little deeper. So I might just do that and use that inside of there for storage, but then that's where my insulation is going to be. So this is the next step of this. Okay, now here we go. This is it. It's done. This is my new insulation of my side wings and my uprights, and I just wanted to let you know that a lot of people buy truck campers, then the chances are this part of your camper is not insulated. So especially the older ones, maybe the newer ones are, but the older ones aren't. So that's why I did this. And so I have several, you know, a lot of insulation left to go, so I'm going to keep on. Now the front facing panel piece for the seat of the dinette, I damaged it. I busted it getting it apart, getting it out so I could insulate around those pipes, and so I made another panel piece, and I just wanted to show this to you. I'm going to be installing this today, and I can't decide if I want to make this adjustable and make this panel move out to make it look like a full-time bed, or just like a permanent dinette and you can convert it. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Here it is in place, and I'm trying to decide if I want to make it like this, or I could take it and put I've got this bottom part re-insulated, and back inside of here and up underneath of here, I wedged all of this foam board insulation in here, put the paneling back on, and the baseboard, and trim back on most of it. So now what I have to do, you can see the new insulation on that upright panel, and then the side wing has to be insulated as well, and I'll do that, and I'll probably have to take this front wall panel off because I don't want to take the propane box out, because the propane supply line runs into it. The propane supply line, I would have to unhook the entire propane system and everything to be able to do that. So it would be much easier just to try to take this front panel off without damaging it, because it's just tacked on and nailed on anyway. In one piece, get it off in one piece. I got this big baseboard piece, this bottom piece, I got it off in one piece without damaging it. So, and I cut a hole there, that'll be a storage compartment. I just have to be careful for the propane line, just not to damage it or kink it when I'm storing stuff. And make cabinet doors like this. So then I'll take this front wall panel off and now insulate around the propane box and seal it airtight. So, because that loses a lot of heat and insulation around that. A lot of heat in the wintertime around that propane box because it's just a thin layer of metal. Okay, now I am taking this wall off because I have to insulate around this area to make it air. Okay. Now I have insulated the inside of this cabinet here. This is where the propane tanks are, and inside of that metal box it's insulated. Down here is insulated. I finished most of this inside of here, insulating inside of there. See, it's all sealed up. And so I was thinking about if I had a way to turn the propane tanks on and off from inside the camper, maybe cut a hole here and have a door, and then I could reach in there and I could turn the propane tanks on and off. I really don't know if I should do that or not, but I use nails and I use screws to kind of hold this together and make it sturdy. So it's been all night and it's dried. So under here I used a piece of plywood here to set for the bottom foam board to rest on. So this is really a problem here with this hose here. Because it's a narrow space for it to get through. We've got the side of the camper in between that and the metal box, and so that was really difficult. And so here's my hose clamp. I can't lose my hose clamp. Yeah, take my carpet out of here and clean it. This is the last of the insulating on the inside of the camper. So I've insulated everything on the inside of the camper as far as that goes. I've got inside of there, and I've got here. So really the only thing left to insulate is the basement. So, and I'll do another video in the future describing the basement and the features of the basement and what makes this camper unique above other campers of this age, you know, other truck campers. And so that's what I'll do. I'm just trying to decide here. I was thinking of putting a drawer here, because I don't know if I fabricated a cabinet drawer facing. I don't know if it would completely match the existing drawer fronts and door facings. And if it would completely match, I would have to try to see if they match or not. I don't know if it's worth it to use this space as a drawer and try to use this space or not. It's not a lot of space, but in a camper this size, this is quite a bit of space. Maybe I should try to find a way to use it for something. Excuse me, sorry. Now, I decided not to put the interior access to the propane tank. I started to cut the hole, but I used silicone and fixed it. Sealed it back up with silicone. I want it to be extra safe. I don't want any chance. Besides, this is going to be jagged metal, and I don't want any chance of cutting my hand on that jagged. But I hate to use a saw and make sparks to cut around that propane. And another thing is, I found another use for this space. Instead of lowering the floor, this is so nice in here, and I hate to mess it up. Instead of making a drawer, what I've decided to do is to make a shelf here. You know, I am getting ready to put the front of the cabinet back together. So I've got this is from the back side of the wood. So I've got my shelf cut out, and the new location of the porch light on and off switch. So, and it's 12 volt, and so I can hook up a a 12-volt electrical socket there and splice it into the porch light assembly or whatever. So I'm getting ready to put it back together, and then I'll be right back. Here it is. I have my cabinet back in place, and I have my porch light installed. Okay, there we go. And I can put a stereo or a VCR in there. I'm going to put the furnace hose hookup back in place. Then I'm going to put my cabinet doors back on. I need to find some more nails because I ran out of nails. So this piece of trim looks pretty bad. I'm going to have to get another piece someday. Have it all back together. Now here is my, you can see my furnace vent and shelving unit. That helps a whole lot in here because I've been looking for a place to put my stereo or VCR.